Hello everybody, welcome to Andy Juggles Languages, and in this video I want to talk about language learning and how much language learning do you do, how far have you progressed in your language, and does it matter if you can only speak a certain amount of the language. The fact is that you know another language means that you'll be able to connect with more people. So my point I'm going to make in this video is that any language learning is good, basically. So I often have this dilemma in my head going on between one part of myself and another. The one part says to me, you shouldn't be learning new languages. You should be sticking to the languages that you were previously trying to learn. And even though you may have struggled and you haven't really made much progress, you should just keep on with those languages. Don't learn any new languages at all. And the other part of me says that I just want to learn so many things and I want to engage with more customers in my shop. I want to be able to make more people feel welcome. I want to be able to network with more people, and even just being able to say hello or how are you in so many different languages would be brilliant, because you could put those customers at ease and you're kind of acknowledging them and making them feel welcome in your country. So in the shop where I work, every week I see more and more new customers coming in. And this week, I have so many examples this week of how my shop is brilliant, but how it doesn't really matter what level of a language you speak. It's just making that contact with people, which is really good. So example number one, I had a Filipino man come into my shop, and Tagalog is one of the languages on my list of languages that I'd really like to learn. I've been thinking about this for years now, but I haven't started it because I've started other languages. So a Filipino man came in and he bought some clothing, and I said to him, are you from Philippines? I guessed. He said, yeah. And I said, how do you say hello and thank you and everything? And I already knew like salamat, but I didn't know some of the other phrases he tried to teach me. There was another man in the shop who was an African guy from West Africa, and I guessed he was from West Africa from his accent. And I said, which languages do you speak? And he said English, his first language. Brilliant. He was from Sierra Leone, but he could speak some Tagalog. So he connected with this customer, and then he said, I speak a bit of Russian, a bit of French. So I said a couple of things in Russian and French, but he didn't really speak much. It was just a few words, but it didn't matter. It kind of got these customers talking to each other, and it made their day, because this guy from Sierra Leone was able to use his Tagalog, and the Filipino guy was made to feel really welcome. And he said, I'll see you in about 9 months' time. I'm going back to Philippines. I'll come back for 3 months in Portsmouth. Another example is I have a Romanian customer I speak French with, and I do speak French with her nearly all the time, but we go backwards and forwards between French and English. And I often ask her words in Romanian because I want to learn more Romanian, and she teaches me a bit more Romanian. So that's quite nice. And then I normally speak Chinese in the shop every week to one of my volunteers, but she was off this week. But a Chinese man came into the shop and he could speak Mandarin, and I had a bit of a conversation with him for about 10 minutes in Mandarin. He was really pleased that someone could speak Mandarin, and he said, I'll be back with some donations, which was fantastic. And then a British lady came in the shop with some donations, and she was making room in her house to host Ukrainian people. So I'm really pleased that there's this kind of network of things that goes on, that you're able to connect people up with each other, which is fantastic. So I started learning a bit of Ukrainian as well, and I think it really helps actually knowing a bit of Russian and a bit of Polish and Slavic languages when you learn a new Slavic language, because there are so many. And then recently a man came into my shop who was from India, and he'd only just been living in Portsmouth for about 8 months. And it was on a day when I had my Chinese volunteer with me, and he heard me speaking Mandarin with her. And he said, wow, I'd really like to learn Mandarin. Actually, it's one of the languages I'd like to learn. I said to him, which languages do you speak then? And he said he spoke Marathi, Gujarati, Hindi, and English. And I said to him, Aapka naam kya hai in Hindi? What's your name? And he was like, well, you speak Hindi. I said, not really. I only know a few phrases in Hindi. And then he started to try to teach me some Marathi. So I've got a few phrases he's written down from Marathi. So when next time he comes in, I shall say to him a few phrases. And then, so that was really good. But at one stage, he couldn't understand my Chinese volunteer's accent when she was speaking English, and she couldn't understand his accent when he was speaking English. So he was telling me something in English, and I was telling her in Chinese, because it didn't make any difference which language we were speaking, and we'd all acknowledged that we could speak different languages. So I was practicing my Mandarin, translating from his English that he was telling me, and he was speaking Hindi a bit as well, but I didn't really understand most of it. But I told him all the numbers, like ek do tin char panch shat sat aat no das 11 12 13 14 15 17 18 19 20, etc. And he thought that was brilliant. But that's about my level of Hindi, actually. I don't really know much more. Another example is a British guy came into my shop, and he said that he has a place in Greece. And I started talking to him about languages. I said, do you actually speak Greek? And he said, no. And I said, would you like some Greek books or CDs? I've got loads at home. And he said, yes, please. He said, not at the moment, because I'm studying something else. So I said to him, why don't you start Duolingo Greek? It's quite a good place to start. You can do the Greek alphabet on Duolingo, and it's quite good because you see the Greek script as well. And he said, yeah, I think I'll do that. So he came back, and I said to him, have you started yet? And he said, no, not yet, but I will start. He said, you're inspiring me to learn more Greek. So that was quite good. All I know in Albanian is Përshëndetje. And Albanian is one of my languages that I'd like to learn in the future. And next week, an Albanian lady is coming to help me in my shop for 2 days a week. So that might be one of my languages I switch to beginning to learn soon. I want to give you an example. An Albanian lady comes into my shop regularly, and I just say to her, Përshëndetje, and she was really pleased about this, me just saying Përshëndetje. Her face lights up every time she comes in, that somebody knows just that one word in Albanian. And she gave me her WhatsApp number. When she went back to Albania a few years ago, she sent me some pictures of the place where she lives by the sea, and it's a really beautiful place. And she's an elderly lady. She's not going to be learning much English. She really struggles when she comes into the shop. So I think, Albanian might be one of those languages that I do start learning a bit more with the help of my new colleague. And it just really makes my day when she comes in and I'm able to sell her something. She comes in with a donation, and she sent me these pictures of her family and the place where she lives, which maybe she doesn't connect with many people in UK where she lives. So it's quite, heartwarming to have this kind of experience with another person and to connect with them. So thanks very much for watching this video. I hope you got something out of it. I've gone off on a bit of a tangent on this video, so there's not much sort of content to it as such, but I hope to be making some more videos in languages soon. Just speaking Chinese is one of my plans, and I want to make a longer video where I just speak Mandarin. So that's one of my plans, and I want to do a Ukrainian video soon and speak in the Ukrainian that I've been learning so far, just as a way to record myself and to look back on the progress if I'm going to be making progress in that language. Thanks for watching. Speak to you soon. Bye.